kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sim Racing Media's coverage of the All-American Racing League Blue-Gray Plastic Fabrication Cup Series. The season finale is upon us, 150 laps, and will crown a victor and a champion. I'm Cliff in the booth alongside my partner in crime, Matt Mettler. It's been an incredible season. Much fun was had. I couldn't do it without you, and of course the folks at home. Thanks for joining us. Matt, Darlington championship race. What are your thoughts?
Well, the lady in black always is going to be tough to tame here at Darlington. And what a fitting way to end this season, Cliff. I can't believe the finale is here. You know, the racing that we have gotten to witness all season long, you know, Lilith Peters, Lightning McQuaid, you know, Sean Purcell, the Purcell brothers, you know, Jeremy Flanagan, Peter. I mean, I could go on and on. These guys have been a class act. The drama, the excitement, the strategy, the competition is definitely made for a phenomenal primetime event here on Tuesday night. It's definitely going to be missed here. As they say, all good things must come to an end. But I did talk to the HMFIC himself, David Hillbilly Hara. They're going to get things, you know, after the season ends, we crown a championship tonight. You know, we'll continue to press on into the future, but still, this season has definitely been iconic. Pleasure up in the booth working with you. And let's buckle up those belts. Let's fire these bad boys up one more time here in Darlington, Cliff.
Yeah, absolutely. As they roll off, we'll go through the grid here. Evan Clapper going to grab the pole position right in front of Lilith Peters, who'll start on the outside of row one here. 1-2 in the race. These two are going to be battling it out for the entire time. Kyle Purcell, Justin Horton, row 2. Christian Delgado, Patrick McQuaid, row 3. Sean Purcell, David Hara, row 4. Jeremy Flanagan and Peter Terrio, row 5. Rodriguez Christensen, row 6. And we got one more, Adam Angerstein here in starting 13th place as they get prepared here down the backstretch for their championship race here. Final one, last chance. Who will take home the champion and who will take home the crown?
You know, a lot of, I polled the audience here before, we kicked this event off, and a lot of the drivers think the one of Lilith Peters is the car to beat, and we know she has been bad fast. She definitely races like one of the boys as that pace car pulls off. All right, Cliff, let's pull those belts tight one more time as we go to NASCAR's OG Super Speedway. Evan Clapper, Lilith Peters on the front row as they hit the Geico restart zone, waiting on that green flag. And the finale of the AARL Cup Series is live here from Darlington, South Carolina, as Evan Clapper leads the herd down into turn 1.
Evan Clapper going to get a big start there and dive up to the top side immediately. You'll see that most of the night. These drivers are going to be up right next to the wall. Big contact. Purcell and the one car. Giant car parts everywhere. That was just a big old man. I'm sorry.
It looks like Uncle Tony's Auto Salvage out there. Lilith Peters, Bluetooth suspension on the front.
Peters' car not turning there. This is big implications as Evan Clapper is still running here.
Clapper was able to skate by because of the phenomenal restart, and the mayhem cooked off just behind Evan Clapper. This is going to have huge implications on the championship because, Cliff, it was a horse race between the top 4, and most of them just took it out in that disastrous start of the race with a nuclear bomb that just exploded here on lap 1. Now we're rolling into lap 2, but Cliff, I'm almost speechless watching that as you see Lilith Peters, Kyle Purcell, the Purifier, and others piling in there, and as everyone's stacked on top of each other, nowhere to go, and carnage here at Darlington on lap 1 of the race.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm trying to find a better view of that wreck here, as we're right here with the 1 and the 10. Just some real close racing there, and I think I'm not sure someone got word from their spotter there, but they both were kind of going for the same real estate there at the same time.
That's what it looks like to me. And, this racetrack, they call it the Lady in Black for a reason. She is not forgiving, and she makes you really have to be calculated with these passes here. Running too wide in this next-gen car or just about any other race car, that's a tall order. When you combine that, with the emotion of being the last race, the initial start, and Lilith Peters and Kyle Purcell, the Purifier, tough competitors up front. From the first look on that, Cliff, it looked like, just as you said, two hard racers going for the same piece of real estate on the racetrack, and unfortunately, it drops a huge nuclear bomb that ripples throughout the field as we see Lilith Peters in the 1 from Tampa Bay, Florida, who needs to finish inside the top 6 to clinch the championship.
Yeah, I was just about to start talking about that here, as the top 5 in points are very close, within 50 points. So she's not wrong there. She's got to do really well in this race, and unfortunately, that wreck there is not, that's not what she needed at all. And with Evan Clapper still leading this race, every lap that goes by here now is going to be a lap in the wrong direction here for the one team. So a lot of work to do. I mean, it's still really early, and she's opting to get that damage fixed up, it looks like, rather than using her one fast repair. So she understands how early it is, and this race is not over.
Yeah, and we've seen her face adversity before in the series, and other drivers like Patrick McQuaid, Kyle Purcell, and others. The good news is it's happened right here at the start of the race. So now she has 145 laps to try and make it back through the field. The problem is, Cliff, it's Darlington. And just because you have that fast repair in the bank, it's really easy for that fuse to get lit again. And another big incident go off here as we still have 145 laps to go.
A little bit of a push and shove there on the racetrack. Some racers having some fun here before this season is up. call it a love tap. It's like the 28 of Peter Terrio showed up with, didn't have much sponsorship here, so got the old paint can out.
I love it too. Good, nice finishing touches here to close the season out. And Cliff, it certainly has been exciting here. We knew it would be. I didn't expect that on lap one. Little friendly bump drafting going there on the top side of the racetrack between looks like Horton and Peter Terrio up there having some fun.
Yeah, Horton's.
Here, let me shove you right past the pace car. Here, let the pace car run some laps tonight.
I'm not exactly sure that Justin Horton is enjoying this ride as much as it may look it.
Speaking of that, you can see the front of that ZL1 Camaro is definitely pancaked in just a little bit on that 67. Clapper's up there taking a page out of Days of Thunder, going up there and hitting the pace car.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, well, fortunately, probably in this case, the pace car is not going to let you hit him.
No, I mean, but hey, you can literally virtually go inside the pace car. I've spent a lot of time in there trying to figure out exactly what it is. It feels like a couple different cars, but very plain Jane as that pace car pulls off one more time.
Whatever it is, it's out of here, and they'll let the racers be racers. Evan Clapper, Justin Horton going to take us across the line with Peter Terrio, Jeremy Flanagan right behind them pushing. 57 gets a big push, or not a big push, but a big jump there as the 67 falls back just a little bit. It's going to hold up the 28. Jeremy Flanagan's going to try to get by on the bottom side, sitting in fourth.
Yeah, all this going on right now. Jeremy Flanagan up 5 spots. Look at the big dive. Aggressive move there by Peter Terrio. All back up front. Evan Clapper continues to lead, but look at Terrio on the charge here. He is down low, Eaton on the bottom. Oh, this is where you got to worry. Coming off of turns 3 and 4 like that. Terrio, he's that former champion. He's got that veteran mindset. He knows to leave plenty of space there, but that allows Adam Angerstein to motor on by for that position. Angerstein now up 9 spots to 4th. Angerstein, the biggest mover of the race.
Right behind them, almost 3 wide. There's a 7 and the 00 of Sean Purcell find themselves door to door, side by side here. Travis Rodriguez has the dominant top side. He'll take that position away from Sean Purcell.
Yeah, definitely gets the position from Sean Purcell. How about David Hillbilly Hera in the 15? Had a chance to speak with him before the races. Adam Angerstein gets big time loose and just comes up and bombs.
72
of Flanagan.
Zorku Nation covering their eyes right now as he gets collected and brought up into the wall. Angerstein got real bad sideways here.
Point blank in broad daylight. Smokes the 72. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Lilith Peters just about barely got by there. She had to take evasive action, take it all the way down deep into the flats of this racetrack.
Yeah, Peters trying to make up time now after that initial wreck. Yeah, I'm coming down. Well, there's a reason why she is in the position she is, running for a championship. We talked about it earlier, a few laps ago now, that she's got some work to do. She had to finish, what did she say, 6th? So
6 or better.
She's got a ways to go.
Sir.
However,
I just can't believe the wig splitter that got administered to Jeremy Flanagan, because he had no idea that was coming.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You got a little bit of a racing view as you're running in your car, and you don't really catch much on your peripherals. Say racing blinders, especially in a sim sometimes. So he got a rude awakening and found the wall.
Yeah, and this is one of those racetracks where myself particularly, I always pay really close attention to my awareness on the racetrack, especially in the corners, because you don't realize just how much, your car's jostling around. You're used to having, your typical 1.5 mile racetrack has a much wider racing group. And then when you get to here at Darlington, you have such a small window to work with. So I'm looking at my position on the racetrack, the competition, not just like you said, not so much my peripheral. I doubt he knew that was coming. And that might get him the Tide Ride of the Race Award, as he's probably going to need a couple extra racing suits and racing shoes after that one. Is now two major incidences here through lap 12. Evan Clapper, though, Cliff, I mean, this could be his race to lose tonight because, I mean, this kid has been getting better, better, and better each and every week. And now, because of these two major caution flag sequences here, taking out a lot of the favorites deeper in the field, Evan Clapper's primed. He's sitting there in the one, I mean, right where he started. That car fires off like a terror. It looks bad fast. And then who's just lurking there now in third? David Hill, Billy Hara in the 15, up 5 spots. He's got the Banshees screaming underneath the hood of that 15. Always makes good horsepower, these types of racetracks.
Yeah,
I'm liking the way this is setting up.
And Hara sitting a little bit further back in the points and 53 points down in 7th. But if enough drivers up there have problems like Lilith Peters is having right now, don't count him out. So the best thing he can do is and of course everybody wants to win the race, but finish as strong as you can, and hopefully a little luck on your side. You never know what could happen.
No, you certainly don't know, as those lights are out on the pace car. And there you see Jeremy Flanagan gets a new race suit, some racing shoes. Back on the racetrack, here's Lilith Peters again on pit road, still trying to get that Camaro 100% or as close to 100% as she can after that explosion on lap 1. As you see Evan Clapper in the 57, Justin Horton in the 67. They share the front row. Clapper, he is going to have the trigger here, Cliff, when we go back to green this time by.
Yeah, Clapper's sitting right there in the point and exactly where he wants to be, being able to control this race doesn't have when you got nothing to look out your front windshield, you feel a lot better about your current situation. So as long as he can keep that pace tonight and continue doing what he's doing, he's going to be a happy racer at the end of this. Justin Horton sitting there in second on the top side, got a little bit of front end damage. Wondering how long that's going to work out, how long that's going to last. You got to worry about your water temps in that situation, but here we go. The 5.7 shoots out from a cannon, as usual. David Harris sitting third. Travis Rodriguez now moves up to third.
Look at the 7 machine. He's up 8 spots. Now the biggest mover of the race. Sitting there in third, has a podium spot. Having a great run here so far. David Hillbilly Hara comes up and just kisses the lady in black. Light contact. These composite bodies are tough, but you got to make sure those toe links are the weak spot, Cliff. And you got to make sure that angle of attack when you do hit that wall doesn't affect that toe link, because that can certainly get you some extended time there on pit road. Is Evan Clapper getting really skinny there coming off the top. I don't think you can put a sheet of paper between the 57 and that safer barrier.
Nah, definitely not the last time we're going to see that either. By the end of the night, that wall will be black. And you're absolutely right about that toe link. I found that out the hard way as the 67 getting a big charge here catches up to the 57's bumper now. But I haven't been in the race car much as of late, and recently I've been jumping back in and getting some practice time as some more cars, they're back in the field brushing with the wall. But I found out the hard way how fragile those toe links are.
Yeah, everything else with this race car is just tough as nails, but that toe link, it's almost like porcelain as Terrio has to catch it going down the hill. He's going to slide back up in front of, I thought the 3 had a lot more steam than that of Nathan Christensen. I thought he was going to come up and just pancake him, but not the case. And look at this, the nose job on the front of the 67 of Justin Horton's car looking like a pug. Caked in and all, has bad speed. Is now that he's ran down Evan Clapper. Clapper the last time by at 30:18 to Justin Horton's 29:94, the fastest lap of the race from P2.
Yeah, I guess, you know, that front end damage not slowing Justin Horton down too much as he's sitting here happy up in second place. Gonna now get into the wall. That'll bring him up, of course. But Travis Rodriguez sitting there in third, loving what he's seeing right now as the 67 having a little bit of trouble on the racetrack. Might have overused his stuff to kind of try to chase down the 57. And those two cars have not been on pit road yet, so a little bit of sloppy rubber there maybe after just 20 laps here at the Lady in Black.
Yeah, extra sloppy. This racetrack here, Cliff, you know it's worn out, and it's like a cheese grater on these tires. And when you really have to push this next-gen car, it doesn't like being pushed. It likes to be steady Eddie, nice, calm, cool, and collective. When you get up on the wheel, you pay a premium in tires. At a racetrack like this, it's going to just straight up rob you. And I think that's probably what's going on with Horton, as well as a little bit of that downforce generation is going to be a little hindered because the lip on that splitter is pointing basically up in the air. So that's probably paying some dividends there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a look now as the field starts to get settled out just a bit. Take us through the field if we can. Evan Clapper consistently setting a pretty fast pace out there, but not pulling away too far, as we've seen him dominate some of the races this season and be able to just put a clinic on the field and really just dominate. But here we are, Justin Horton, as hard as he's pushing it, just about 4/10 of a second here back to second place for Justin Horton, so he's got a chance to hang in there. Travis Rodriguez rolling third in the 7 Toyota, about a second and a half off the pace of the leader. David Hara sitting in fourth in the 15 Chevy. Right behind him, he's got Kyle Purcell about 4/10 back. Got both of the Purcell brothers hot on his tail. The 10 and the 00 of Kyle and Sean. Patrick Lightning McQuaid going to sit in 7th place in the 77 Chevy. Christian Delgado in the 16 Ford in 8th. Adam Angerstein sitting in 9th place in his number 9 Toyota. Peter Terrio showing up tonight in the spray-painted 28 Ford. He's going to sit in top 10 right now as Jeremy Flanagan in the 72 holds on to 11th after some trouble. Nathan Christensen, as we see, peeling off or back onto the racetrack in this throwback 3 Goodwrench scheme. And of course his teammate in the 1, another throwback scheme here. Of course, got the Luna steak sauce on there. Lilith Peters, unfortunately, scored currently in last place. Her championship run possibly coming to an end here with some early devastation for her and her team. We'll see if she can claw it back. She'll need some help from that caution flag to make it happen. We'll see just how much help she can get and what the outcome may be after 150 laps here in the Darlington 200.
Yes, Cliff takes it through the field as they run right now through 25 laps of competition. Cliff, I couldn't get over the initial impact of Peters in the wall as parts exploded violently off of that race car. That Camaro was severely bruised. I thought for certain she was going to go down there and burn a fast repair. I mean, the fact that she is where she is still on the lead lap, I know we never see her this far down the pecking order, but that car, that Camaro, is still on the lead lap. And don't let her fool you. This could be her best silent killer yet tonight. If she's able to maintain this on this lead lap and then uses that fast repair, she could come on strong and just rip the top like we've seen before perhaps and shock somebody. So perhaps, this may not have been her phase or her plan A or your primary plan, but still, I think a good backup plan here is she's able to keep pace there with Jeremy Flanagan just ahead of her in 11th. Nathan Christensen, or I'm sorry, not Nathan Christensen. He's in the 3. He's a lap down to 72 there. Gets loose coming off the corner there. He's going to pull down out of traffic. Adam Angerstein's going to get by there as well. But Lilith Peters could be a force to be reckoned with here late and potentially shock the field as long as she's able to stay on the lead lap. And then speaking about other competitors from that lap 1 caution, how about the rebound from Kyle Purcell? I mean, he was the catalyst that set that ablaze, and he's up to 5th with his brother in tow in 6th. Heck of a job there by the Purifier.
Yeah, these two battling out here for 5th place. Obviously, if you can't get up there for a win, you want at least the top 5 to finish off the season. But really, a lot of these guys just looking for the best finish they can get in the last race for a while. You know, these guys will be back, of course, for another season, lickety split. But you know, as they run lap 30 of 150 here at Darlington, Kyle Purcell in 5th and Sean Purcell, he's now starting to pull away from his brother. But we were talking about the 1 and the trouble she had earlier, and I just started to think as I was letting you talk there, you know, that just goes to show how how do I want to say this? How great of a season can come quickly to an end, and how hard it is, and how precise winning a championship actually can be. You know, you could come out with like Lilith and just dominate most of the races, win a bunch of them, and then come on and have trouble in the first couple laps of the last race and possibly throw it away. Of course, her team and she will fight back and get the best finish she possibly can, and she does have the talent to come back and possibly get to 6th place and still win this championship. So this is not me ruling her out, but this is what it takes to win a championship sometimes. And
Sorry to interrupt you there, Cliff. The 7 of Juggles just put on a Philly slider from the top and went down and got Captain crunched with the inside wall there.
Thank you. I did not even get any lick of a warning. See if we can figure out what happened.
Yeah, I apologize for blowing your spot up like that, but I mean,
nah,
his
that's
car
fine.
It's like the hot dog just squirted out of the bun, and he tried everything he could to get it corralled before he made contact, but he definitely caught a piece of that safer barrier on the inside wall.
See if we can get a better look of what exactly happened there, because I didn't get any warning on my timing and scoring of anything happening. And from the sound of the excitement, we want to see how squirrely he was. Let's cue it up here.
Yes, Cliff goes ahead and gets this replay dialed up for us. I just happened to see it out of the corner of my eye from the far back of the frame. And I was able to watch him just as we were panning. You can see him, he's riding the top here, and just straight loses it coming off turns 3 and 4. And that is a trouble spot on the racetrack. I mean, the sun's beaten on that turn all day long. That's going to be the slickest spot on, of the racing surface. And he just takes off out of nowhere. And that's what this racetrack is, known for doing, as it's been, I believe, in service since the mid-1950s.
Well, he found that inside wall fast, and now we're going to get a word from our sponsor fast, which is ourselves. Check our merchandise out. As you'll see, we'll go side by side. You won't miss any of the action. We'll be right back to Darlington. Don't go away. Welcome back to the racetrack where Justin Horton has hunted down the 57 of Evan Clapper, is now all over the back bumper of that 57 machine. We haven't talked much about Horton, but sitting here in second place, one of the drivers here with a really good opportunity still to win this championship, as he comes into this race third in points, just 39 back. Of course, he'll need some help from Evan Clapper right in front of him, and by help I mean he'll have to have some ill effects for the 57's race as they get side by side on the racetrack now. The 28 machine right behind the 67 of Horton, as Justin Horton now is gonna take the lead here on lap 43 when we get across the line. 28 machine of Peter Terrio, one lap down. Of course, Terrio on some fresher rubber, able to get past Horton pretty easily. So Horton, pretty smart, let him get by there.
Hey, when we say Dr. Feelgoods, we don't say that just for no reason. We say it because it has purpose behind it. And you're seeing here at Darlington so much more security. You're able to maneuver and point that race car. It looks like he has 50 to 100 horsepower more than everyone else out there right now. And that's what new tires do on this next-gen car here at Darlington, is oftentimes as we cut to brake, they start to pit. That just seems how it's been all season long. You can almost bet on it. But Cliff, you're starting to see already just how important those good years are here over the course of this race.
Absolutely right. And speaking of Horton and Clapper, the only two cars out there on the original set of rubbers that they started the race with. So it's 45 laps into the tires that you started on at Darlington. Definitely starting to feel like I'm out there on not tires. But we've got a few drivers sitting on pit road, get some extensive damage fixed up. Angerstein, Rodriguez, and Flanagan all scored 11th, 12th, and 13th. So I'm curious as to whether they'll be back out or if the damage is just too much. But just gonna wait and see what those teams come out with. So currently 10 drivers on the racetrack. We've got, looks like 7 on the lead lap. Currently Horton in the lead and coming into this race third in points. If he can stay out in front of Clapper and possibly pray to the racing gods that Clapper has a rough time this last 100 laps or so, he could have a championship. Let's see to the end. We'll find out what happens.
Oh, as Kyle Purcell now takes a page out of the slide ride playbook, and he almost does the same thing, except is able to catch that Camry before it clobbers the inside wall there. Great heads up driving by Kyle Purcell, as he basically just took off right out of turn 4. I'm
15
telling you,
getting into the wall. Yeah, a lot of this racetrack is slick. There's no doubt about that, as the 10 car peels off of the racetrack to get some fresh rubber for sure. One of the cars that had pitted on lap 5, so that's a good 42, 43 laps into this on those set of tires. But still out here in the lead is Justin Horton on the same set he started with. Can he go 50 laps? That would make it a third of the way into this race. Pretty amazing that he's able to keep pace and the lead of this race on this still initial set of tires he started with.
How he is running sub 32 second lap times, a 31:34 the last time by. Cliff, I couldn't even imagine running 50 laps in this car at this track temp in these conditions. I mean, at lap 30, I'm holding on for dear life, screaming, "Save me, Tom Cruise," to put it into perspective. This cat here, calm, cool, collective, the nose job and all on that race car, and he's still out there, as he's now going to be lap 50 being written in the books this time by on the tires he started his race with. That's a race car driver that understands the concept of throttle control and minimal wheel input, because that's the only way you achieve that here, especially at a track like Darlington.
Absolutely. We're talking about Horton possibly having a chance at the championship. Getting a little correction from the chat, which appreciate you guys watching at home and filling us in, because you can't trust me to do the math. I looked it over. I thought that he possibly could be one of the ones, but I could be very wrong, and I'm going to trust you over my own math. Right now, he's winning the race, so he may not win the championship, but he did have a heck of a run this season to come in here third in points starting, and he is currently winning. We'll see if he can hold off the rest of the field, and if and when, well, I say if and when, but really when he's going to come down pit road along with Clapper to get a fresh set of Goodyears here. Patrick McQuaid now finds his way up to third. He's up third, 3 spots from where he started this race. So solid race from the 77.
Yeah, McQuaid's been lit here in the closing weeks. He started off the season just guns blazing here. There's a little friendly pushing and shoving on the entrance to pit road there between David Hillbilly Hara in the 15. He's got Peter Theriault in tow behind him.
Looks like
Christian Delgado. I'm sorry. Thank you, Cliff.
No worries.
Just about, thank God on pit road, if you make contact, that's not gonna count. It's gonna ghost out, when you're
yeah.
just a few pit boxes, from your pit stall, because that could have been costly. But Justin Horton, no better recipe for closing out the season on a high note. Oh, his Theriault there pops the wall. You really see the front of that Mustang jump up. That's going to give Kyle Purcell the advantage, as he's going to slide into fourth. But I was saying, no better recipe there, Cliff, for starting off the next season on a high note when you end potentially in victory lane. It certainly makes all the...
Caution's going to come out. Sorry to cut you off there. Looks like the 3 car in trouble.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why I'm not getting very good indications of what is going on out there, but let me see if I can find exactly what happened to Nathan Christensen here. That car was tore up.
Yeah, he was tore up in a blaze, and I can second you on that, Cliff. My timing and scoring is not alerting to any type of trouble on the racetrack as well.
Yes, it doesn't make for the greatest at-home experience here when we can't even find the wrecks when they happen, but we'll do our best here to bring it to you.
Something tells me the Waffle House grease pit struck again coming off of 4.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I just want to make sure he gets his time in the limelight if that was a wild one. And, of course, I continue to blunder here behind the scenes. Don't worry about it, folks. We will show you it. Just stand by.
I mean, he just sat there at the start-finish line at the flag stand and went full Woodstock 99.
Of course, I finally find it and hit the wrong button. Into the wall. The bumper comes off. That car is toast. You get the idea there.
And then just ends in an inferno as the flagman is trying to figure out where his respiratory system is. All of
right.
That.
That came down to the race off pit road. Horton's going to come out in first. Patrick McQuaid going to steal a position there on pit road. Great pit stop for his crew. Sean Purcell is going to come out third, or possibly Peter Theriault. Oh, it looked like Peter Theriault stayed out on the racetrack there, so he's going to have a position up here, it looks like.
This is starting to get really interesting. Peter Theriault, a former past champion, has a big following. That 28 is overdue for a win, as is the 77 as well. And we'll throw the 67 in the mix too. And I mean, these are 3 guys here at the front that haven't been, the man, the HMFIC at the end of the race, it would get in the dub. And I expect them to really fight hard for everything they got, because once they get the lead, Cliff, this is the last race of the season. You can't hold anything back, and this should be extremely thrilling with Justin Horton in the 67, Patrick McQuaid, and Sean Purcell occupying the top 3. as we're now writing 57 and lap 57 into the books.
Yes, sir. And I want to just take a moment here to remind everyone this season's title sponsorship was Blue Gray Plastic Fabrication. Big shout out to them for sponsoring the entire season here. Had a handful of great sponsors throughout the season. Muffler Man being one of them. Kaiju Cats, of course, and Foxfire Foods. Or Lawn Care. Holio Cornhole. We had a fun time with that one.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, all the driver sponsors of the All-American Racing League Blue Gray Plastic Fabrication Cup Series, as you'll see them scroll through the corner of your screen. Big shout out to all of them for being a part of these drivers' seasons throughout the year, or throughout the season.
Yeah, well said, Cliff. And as well, got to thank all of you fans at home that religiously tune in each and every Tuesday night to watch these guys and girls compete in prime time. We certainly appreciate you, and the drivers appreciate you more here, as that pace car is going to pull off the racetrack this time by here, Cliff. The calm before the storm once again. And if you're new to SRM, before we go back green flag racing here, you want to join the family, it's simple. You know you want to already. Smash the like button, ring the bell. Come home to 7 nights of hardcore high-flying racing action right here on SRM, the home of the AARL Cup Series.
iRacing pace car is going to take that hard left down the banking hill of Darlington Speedway, as Horton and McQuaid will take us back to green flag racing action. Purcell and Clapper sitting in 3rd and 4th. It's currently Clapper's championship to lose, as Lilith Peters sitting in 9th, but we still have a ways to go. Be sure to join us at the end. Oh, excuse me, I had to mute and sneeze there in the middle of my sentence. As I was saying, Clapper sitting in 4th, his championship to lose unless Peters can come up and get it.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say, with all of these drivers that are within mathematical reach of the championship, the best way to make sure that happens, go up there and get the W, take the win. And I could not agree with you more, Cliff. You're absolutely right. Is that 10 machine of Kyle Purcell does the jig coming off of turn 4 again, has to chase it down the hill a little bit. There's David Hara. Lilith Peters, as you know, still. Oh, Peter Terrio. Hold your breath, my man, as now Evan Clapper's going to get by. Oh, no!
Peter. Sorry. What in the heck? I think Peters had a little too much Kool-Aid tonight. I'm going to have him fill up a cup, I think, at the end of this one. I'm going to have to call him into the hauler.
Cliff, the lady in black is deceiving, and he thought he was clear, and that certainly was not the case. I can't believe this tonight, Cliff. I mean,
yeah, pretty wild night. Is it a full moon?
I mean, I don't know. It's storming here in Florida. I mean, it's a miracle my connection hasn't dropped yet, but we're not going to talk about that.
Well, I'll tell you what. Next time that we go to break, I'll get up and go look out my window, because I think something's up tonight. He's out. Oh, he's inside the 57. He actually gets into Evan Clapper. I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Clapper able to drive away, but hard into the wall there. Also, the 28 going around.
Yeah, I just don't realize. I don't think he knew how much momentum, or realize the closing rate there is. Ironically, he gives Evan Clapper the slapper coming into the corner. And Cliff, we have a lot of big name drivers suddenly and shockingly that have been in trouble. And we're only 63 laps of the way through this one.
Yeah, Purcell and Clapper having to come down pit road. Clapper, I'm assuming, still has his fast repair. Has not had any trouble here tonight just yet. We'll see how long he's on pit road. Oh, overshoots it just a little bit. He'll have to back up. So gonna get 4 tires here. Fix up that damage and be on his way. Gonna have some work to do now. This isn't, the way that Lilith Peters wanted to see this happen, but she's not unhappy about that caution.
No, each one of these cautions really helps her case, especially the carnage that's being dished out to the other race cars as well is certainly evening the playing field for her. And remember, she still has that fast repair in her back pocket as well.
That's an excellent point there. As looking at the time here, actually, it looks like Clapper did not take a fast repair there.
Smart.
Got a little bit of damage fixed up. Probably wasn't feeling like it was necessary, which is good. All this talk about these cars being fragile in the tow links and quite a bit of wall riding here tonight, and it doesn't seem to be affecting them as much as we anticipated.
That's a great cue there, Cliff. I certainly thought there would be a lot more broken tow links out here as well, especially with the type of impacts we've had in the angle as well. But so far, I mean, these teams really got some hardened steel, hardened casings on those tow links tonight, especially on those left sides, because we haven't seen one broken one yet.
Peter Terrio getting into some trouble there with our points leader, Evan Clapper. Clapper coming down, getting some damage, banged out, and still sits there in, let's see, 5th place.
As Cliff was saying there, he's getting it banged out on pit road. The damage, that is the pace lights are still on that pace car, or the yellow lights are still on that pace car. As we are under caution here once again from Darlington, South Carolina, the home of the OG Super Speedway of NASCAR. Cliff, if you know about the history of the configuration of this racetrack, when it was first paved, it was never meant to be raced up there on the banks. That was actually incorporated as a runoff area where if you got squirrely or out of shape, you could go up the hill and catch the car. It wasn't until a couple of these guys figured out, hey, if you go up there on that banking, you can run faster, and that's how the racing line and the shape and configuration of this track is kind of skewed differently than any other surface out here on the circuit.
Yeah, well, whoever thought of that design definitely wasn't a racer. As you know, we'll take as much room as we can get.
Always.
Pace car pulls off the 77 on the outside of Justin Horton. Does he have something for him this time? Green flag in the air. 67 67 gets a good jump.
Yeah, 67 caught a couple of those boys up front on the snooze button as he's able to rock it out. Look at the lead, almost a half a second over Lightning McQuaid. And I mean, Lightning is good on restarts. I mean, for Justin Horton to pull almost a half a second on the initial drop, that's impressive. Getting out of Dodge quick, fast, and in a hurry by the 67. There's McQuaid out of Ohio. Wouldn't he like to finish this series this season on a high note? Get thunderstruck here one more time, another trip to victory lane before all is said and done. But something tells me, Cliff, this is the final race of the season. Side-by-side drag race in action going on between Jeremy Flanagan, Christian Delgado, and the 14 or the 15 of David Hillbilly Hara there as they get it settled off now, as they know it is treacherous to do that here.
Yeah, I was gonna chime in and say that, man. It's just I've been in that position and just how treacherous it actually is. And of course, when I'm in that situation, I'm the slow guy trying to let the leader by and don't want to ruin his night. So that's a tough situation to be running side by side, especially here at Darlington. Purcell brothers here getting a good look. Third and fourth as Purcell's up 4 spots from where he started. And currently tied with McQuaid for her top mover of the race, up 4 spots for both of them.
Yeah, at the top 3 positions, 3 plus 4 plus 4 between Justin Horton, McQuaid, and Sean Purcell, as you said. Here's another interesting thought, Cliff. I believe the 00 of Sean Purcell opened the season up with the win at Daytona, if I remember correctly. What if he's able to close it out in the same manner here in Darlington?
Yeah, your memory's probably better than mine. That was a way back. I can definitely scroll back in the history here, and you'd probably find that you were right. But you're absolutely, that would be a heck of a start and end to a season here. Unfortunately,
literally the opener and the closer.
Yeah, and if the math, if I am wrong with the math, and he doesn't have a chance at the championship, that's unfortunate for him because he had a hell of a run here all season, very consistent in finding victory lane at least, I want to say at least a couple times before.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll tell you what else has been exciting, watching when the Purcell brothers get next to each other on the racetrack, is one way or another they're throwing haymakers at each other. They've made contact. They've taken each other out before, and it makes it so dramatic and dynamic for everyone at home. And their personalities, I mean, both those guys are characters, and they have so much personality about them. Just great race car drivers, and they are certainly broadcaster eye candy, if you will, because they certainly bring it each and every week out there on the racetrack. McQuaid in that 77, Cliff. Last time by 29.84.
Yeah,
Fast. Go ahead.
No, that's all good. I was just going to say McQuaid out here basically running for what could be his last race. Got a couple of new babies and going to focus on some family time. It's been a heck of a time broadcasting this guy. Very fast race car driver. Going to be taking a break from the next AARL season. But we will probably see him from time to time. Just wanted to give him one last final hurrah, and possibly looking to put that 77 in victory lane, if not on a podium. So I'm sure we'll get a word with him. If you stay tuned to the end, we'll talk to our top 3 drivers, and of course our champion as well, if it's not one of the top 3 drivers.
I'll tell you what, Cliff, just behind that 77, somebody threw away the charcoal, and now they're cooking with gas. Is Lilith Peters potentially trying to go up there and get her lap back the old-fashioned way out there on the racetrack under green flag conditions? Is that one looks like it has those problems sorted on that race car, as she is basically hanging with the leaders and currently running down McQuaid, the fastest car on the racetrack last lap, coming in at a 29.98 to Horton's 30.02.
Absolutely, as we get a view out the driver's window here behind the 77, that's Lilith Peters on board, trying to claw her way back to the front here. We're only about halfway, so she's got some time left to do it if she can hang on, be smart, and hopefully catch a little bit of good luck maybe.
Hey, Cliff, we've seen her do this before earlier in the season. I mean, she got put in a hole, a big one. They buried her, covered her up with concrete, and she was able to, get herself out of there and come back through the field and still win the race at the end. And, the best thing about Lilith Peters, she's always calm, cool, and collective. You very rarely see, an incident or another driver get the best of her, and that's why she's even able to execute at such a high level, even when, she was taken out basically with multiple cars there on the first lap of the race. Here she is maintaining pace with Justin Horton as he continues to lead, Patrick McQuaid in second, and she is right there should the 77 and 67 start to get into a battle to go on by and get her lead back the hard way, or get back on the lead lap the hard way.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. She's definitely got the pace. She's got the talent. If anybody in this field could come back from that adversity, it's her. And we'll see what happens as the race plays out. But she's got the speed. She's got the determination. Let's see if she's got the time and the luck. Justin Horton continues to lead here. The gap just over a half a second here in front of Patrick McQuaid in that 77 Muffler Man Chevy. Peter Terrio finds his way up to third place now in that 28 spray-painted Ford. Looking
Hey,
back
that rattle
here.
can job's looking pretty good. It's pretty bad fast, too, if you ask me.
Well, you know the rules. You got to have a number on it, and sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and you make do with what you had. Looks like he had some black spray paint there in a white car and took care of business. Having a good time here in the last race. Happy to see him back out here running. We haven't seen him in a couple of races here after being handed a penalty and missing out on the race there. So wasn't sure if he was coming back.
Yeah, well said. And, you know, spray paint, tape, hey, that even counts, too. As long as you can visibly see a number on that race car, doesn't matter what you use to get it done. You know, wonder on a sunny day if someone ever tried putting a mirror out there as a number or reflective mirrored tape. That would make for interesting context, wouldn't it, Cliff?
Yeah, it absolutely wouldn't. I don't think it's going to be within the rules there. Like Christensen jumping down pit road. On board here is McQuaid.
Yeah, on board there with Patrick McQuaid there, the Ohio native. Use the Alpha Lion discount code McQuaid10. Take advantage of Foxfire Foods. Small enough to care about you, big enough to still have a heart, and put a personal touch on all the great produce that you can get from their stores. Luna steak sauce is the sauce's boss, Cliff. I mean, you want some good backyard barbecue secret stuff that your friends don't know about? Grab some Luna steak sauce. It will impress you. Lilith Peters basically puts that on everything, and I mean it. She'll even back me up on that. That's how good that sauce is. So use the McQuaid promo code there. Pitch yourself a barbecue. Get an arm up in that game with Luna steak sauce and Foxfire Foods, the sponsor on that 67 as well. However, I think it's fair to say there's a co-sponsor on the car, as he's gone pug mode with the front fascia, and it's working being all pushed in because that Camaro is still bad fast.
Yeah, pretty amazing that he's able to hold on to the pace and basically stay out in front of everyone here, as Peters is now battling with the 77, trying to, as you said, get a lap back the hard way. But 28 also having the same idea here. He'll try to shoot for the bottom and make it stick just underneath the one of Peters, and he's going to make it a heck of a time there to hang on to that corner. But she gets it done. The 67 having a good amount of trouble here too, as I thought he might have brushed the wall a lap ago, and now falling back here to continuing to fall, but he's now sitting in third. He's got the 10 right back behind him, and of course Evan Clapper now coming back into the mix, ready to smell what it smells like up there at the point. But he's got a way to go. Got a way to go.
He just basically shuffled like the first 3-4 cars in line in a quarter of a lap there. Is now Lightning McQuaid in the 77 back to the point, carrying the torch. And look who's right behind Lightning. That one car, I'm telling you, Cliff, that one is looking good. Whoa, Peter Terrio, he's doing the shake and bake. Able to keep it off the wall, but clearly those tires, they are getting a little overworked and overheated, and it makes sense the way he was lit like an afterburner coming up there through the field before the massive shakeup at the top of the pylon.
Man, as we jump on board here, looking at the back of Patrick McQuaid's machine, you can really hear him feathering that throttle. And also get a great look at the front end of that Luna Steak Sauce #1 machine. Foxfire Foods. That's Lois Peters on board.
I'll tell you what, Cliff, I mean, the front of that ZL1 Luna Foxfire Luna Steak Sauce Chevrolet ZL1 Camaro looks clean. You would never know that whole front bumper cover and everything just exploded off the front of that race car in lap 1. But look at Peter Terrio, who continues to all of a sudden just light the wick, and that Saturn V rocket motor comes to life in that 28 machine as he is ripping right now.
Yeah, Terrio's sitting and actually sitting in second place. You got the one machine between him and the leader. One of Peters is back on the. Well, technically, if she can get ahead of the 77 here, she would be back on the lead lap. As we roll lap 90 when Patrick McQuaid gets across the line here next time by.
Yeah, maybe the one trying to dial up the 77 on radio communication being, hey, why can't we be friends? You know, help me get my lead lap back, or my lap back, because McQuaid knows what she's capable of, because he was primed to win in a similar situation, and Lilith Peters came up and stole it from her, or stole it from him. That's why you see that 77 doing everything he can to keep that one behind him, because he knows he's been there, he's done that. That one gets by the 77. This whole field is in trouble. Is McQuaid back out in front, and it has to feel good for the driver of that machine. Oh, as he gets a little sideways coming off turn 4. Calamity Corner, this is going to open up the door for Peters to pop through the top shelf, and she does it the hard way, and here comes Terry. Oh, no!
The 77 gets into the 28 as they get into the middle of the corner there. 28's going to find the outside wall, but he's going to straighten it out and keep going. Nothing but action up here in the front as the one starts to pull away. Definitely what she wanted to do, get away from this carnage, get her lap, or get back on the lead lap, and now she can kind of reset her race a little bit here. 77 falls back to third as Peter Terrio, our new leader.
Yes, Peter Terrio even putting the grinding wheel on the front of that Mustang and all. Still able to go up there and get the lead. But now, dun dun dun, cue the Jaws music. That one of Lilith Peters back on the lead lap. Peter Terrio to the point, and don't look now. That 10 car, no one bankrupts you on your bad mistakes on the racetrack, as he took full advantage and exploited that wall tap by Peter Terrio to the fullest, and he is now in second place as the 77 of McQuaid is catching hellfire from Evan Clapper in the 57.
Yeah, absolutely, and I was running through the field there, but looking for Justin Horton. Here he is in 5th place. A ways back here, almost 3 seconds behind the 4th place car of Evan Clapper. We saw him fall back pretty substantially. I'm wondering if that damage is starting to finally slow him down. We'll have to see when and if he comes down pit road next to get some of that damage fixed up. And speaking of pit road and damage, looks like Jeremy Flanagan, Nathan Christensen, and Adam Angerstein all going to take their cars to the hauler and call it a night here, along with Travis Rodriguez as well. So 4 cars out of this race so far. Peter Terrio currently winning, or at least in the lead. Kyle Purcell sitting in second, and Patrick McQuaid going to round out your top 3. We're going to jump side by side so you don't miss any of the action, and we'll be right back, so don't go away. Back at the racetrack. Oh, the 10 car in trouble. Kyle Purcell. Sideways and up into the wall, but saves it. Back just in time here. So Peter Terrio continues to lead here at lap 101 at Darlington. Patrick McQuaid holds on to second. And Evan Clapper in the 57 now brings that Clapper machine up into the third position. Saw him dominant early on. Well, not necessarily dominant. I think Horton led more laps here, but was able to lead from the pole and finds his way back to third. Also sitting on top of the points and looking for a championship in what would actually be his rookie season here with the All-American Racing League Blue-Gray Plastic Fabrication Cup Series. So looking to scoop up Rookie of the Year and as well as a championship. Why not?
That's a twofer, baby. Can you imagine if the 57 is able to pull that off? Rookie of the Year and the champion of the series. But it all starts out with your team, right? And when you look at who he's molding himself from, Lilith Peters, Justin Horton. I mean, you have the greatness and the talent that surrounds that young man. You couldn't ask for anything else, and that certainly is translating into performances out there on the racetrack. And I got to believe his teammates, that knowledge, that veteran leadership really has to be playing into the performance and the driver inside of that 57 machine, Cliff.
Yeah, for sure. Just noticing Jeremy Flanagan decided to take that 72 Zorco machine back out on the racetrack for his Foxfire food sponsor. Got that damage fixed up, I guess. He's back out here many laps down, but going to finish up the last race of the season strong here. I knew that Zorco Nation was still standing by and watching, so I had a feeling the 72 machine was coming back out on the racetrack eventually. Here he is, going to go out and have some more fun before this one's over. Meanwhile, Patrick McQuaid is going to take the lead away from the 28 as the 28 actually came down pit road along with Evan Clapper. That's going to hand the lead to Patrick McQuaid, and Justin Horton's going to find his way back up to second place now. They both pitted last on lap 55, so they're going to be looking again, but we saw how far Justin Horton was able to stretch his set of tires out. So he's probably got a few more, at least a handful of laps before he peels that 67 Chevy off the racetrack. David Hara rolls up into third now in that 15 Chevy, up 5 spots from where he started.
Yeah, Herring continues to have a great run here in the final act, the closer here tonight from Darlington. And Cliff, I believe we have just seen the money stops initiate on pit road. Is like you were saying, we've seen what Justin Horton and a couple others were able to do on those tires. North of 50 laps, that'll take us past the scheduled distance. Is now you got to be really mindful of who's pitting and when, because you give up so much time on those worn out, as you like to say, sloppy rubbered Goodyears. Is McQuaid now down pit road for potentially the final time tonight? 4 tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel, a tear off, and he'll be on his way. And as he relinquishes the lead going down pit road, Cliff, look who cycles back to the front.
Horton back to the front, but he's going to now get it woed up and come down pit road just the same. So he'll get some fresh rubber, get his last stop done. We're at lap 109 here when he gets by. David Hara is going to assume the lead here, but David Hara is now in trouble. It's got to be a full moon.
15?
It's got to be a full moon. Something's going on here.
He was last on pit road, lap 43. Oh, Cliff, I can't believe it. I'm speechless. As he goes smoke show as well. Going back to the replay here. See him almost catch a piece of the wall there. Here comes the 72.
You see how slow he was actually going on the racetrack there. Had to get it slowed up. I'm not exactly sure what he was thinking here.
I think he's coming to pit road.
Yeah, he was
Can't
thinking
make
about
the
it. Yep.
corner. He can't make the corner. Does he slam the... Oh, he just missed it.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense now as to why he aborted out of that. He did actually want to get down pit road. Well, found his way there, but he's going to take the long way around on the tow hook. Sean Purcell assumes the lead in this 00 Ford.
He goes McSwirly and kisses the lady in black. That Mustang has a huge crinkle now in that passenger side fender. As he is up there, has the lead, has the torch, but there's another Mustang hungry on the prowl, and it's the 28 Ontario as he drops it down low, engages the afterburner, slingshot passes the 00 as Clapper comes up and door bombs the 00.
Clapper's going to clap the 00 on the top side, and you got 15 coming off of pit road there. That's going to give the lead back to the 28 Ontario. Clapper, though, sitting there right in second place. Probably got a, feeling pretty good about where he's sitting now. Lilith Peters going to come down pit road, which will probably be her last time. Correction from the chat. Thank you, by the way. Peters was 2 laps down. She got 1 lap the hard way. So she's still got a little bit of work to do. Still 1 lap down, and she's got Christian Delgado out in front of her. If the caution does come out, he would get the wave around before she did. So I don't want to count her out yet, but it's getting harder and harder.
It's certainly a lot harder now, but how about our diehard dedicated fans? They got better timing and scoring than we do tonight, and they're keeping us in the game. So big shout out, big round of applause for them being dedicated, helping us do our job even when we can't do it as good as we should. Hey, we got our fans to back us up. We appreciate you guys and girls.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well said.
Right there.
Peter Terrio continues to hold off the 57 of Evan Clapper as he putting on a pretty good pace here. I think he's got a little bit to prove. We haven't seen him for a couple weeks, and it looks like it may have been a last-minute decision to come race here tonight. If he wins, we'll get his perspective and see where he's been the past couple weeks and whether he's going to be making a run for it again next season.
Well, Peter Terrio in that 28 seasons past, last season as well, that guy was really one of the main storylines. Had a lot of wins, led a lot of laps, but wasn't really able to replicate the same success this season. If there's ever a guy in the field right now that wants a win just as bad as that 57 of Evan Clapper, it's the driver of this 28 Ford Mustang right here as well, who's up 9 spots, by the way, biggest mover of the race.
Yeah, Everyone
is playing his game right now at Darlington.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Did not mean to cut you off there. I was just about to say, this is going to get... Oh, Kyle Purcell in trouble. I was going to say this is going to get interesting right here, but Purcell's slow on the racetrack. I'm going to forget about the replay mask here, and I'm going to back it up. The cardinal rule. You don't ever rewind live broadcast, but here we go. This is much easier and quicker. It's like the 10 and the 00. The brothers get... Oh, the 1. Little help from their friend Lilith Peters.
Goodness.
I don't think she was able to slow up is what was happening. The 10 was getting into the 00, had to get let up off the gas, and Peters was right there to essentially run them over.
I mean, I know that's why I said what I said earlier. When the 10 and the 00 get together on the racetrack, you got to have someone with eyes and a camera on those boys at all times, because they certainly don't race each other like brothers, that's for sure.
So caution's going to come back out, and it looks like Delgado might get his lap back as things cycle around here. Oh, but unfortunately, that'll put David Hara with 1 lap down ahead of Lilith Peters if it continues to play out the way I'm seeing in my timing. Of course, things could shuffle up. We'll see how it does after some of these. Oh, looks like the top 6 cars at least coming down pit road here.
Yeah, and that car in 6th place being shown right now. And again, our timing and scoring has been out to lunch pretty much all evening. Currently being showed by the 10 car of Kyle Purcell.
Christian Delgado's going to come around and get a lap back here. Lucky Dog coming through.
A bit of relief there for the driver of the 16 Ford Mustang Blue Oval from Abilene, Kansas. He's feeling pretty good right now as he is going to get or be the beneficiary of that Lucky Dog, get his lap back.
Clapper coming out of pit road here, the leader. Terrio second, Justin Horton third.
Christian Delgado, Patrick McQuaid rounds out your top 5.
Like
and you got a Chevrolet stuffing a Ford in as the meat in the submarine sandwich there at the top of the picking order as we rack them, restack them with 118 laps in the books for the season finale here from Darlington, South Carolina.
You know, we talked quickly about the Kaiju-Cam Motorsports team here. Just want to give them a shout out, of course, dominating the Owners Championship here this season. I believe coming into this race, they had the 1st and 2nd place locked down when it comes to Owners points.
Yeah, I mean, they're like Rome back in learn about world history. I mean, they just owned that Owners Championship all season long. And it's easy to see why when you see who they have in their stable and how they've performed over the course of this year, or this season, I should say.
Looks like David Hara might be taking a wave around here. I didn't see him come down pit road, so yeah.
Yeah, I think he got stuck a lap down there with the caution coming out, so good heads-up decision there by himself or someone on the box to take the wave around here, which he can do so with 1 to go, which should be this time by as those pace lights go out. The 15 should then pass the pace car, set himself up for a flyer, and come back around and catch this field before they take the green flag. But he will have to start at the tail end of the field.
I believe the 1 will be going with him as well. Yeah. So that's going to clean up the front row here for Evan Clapper and Peter Terrio as Hara and Peters get a lap back. That will now put David Hara on the lead lap. I'm sorry. That's going to put both of them back on the lead lap.
Yes,
Ding dong.
Back again.
That's
Lil
great.
Back.
Take
Yes,
that, chat.
30 laps to go, and you got Lilith Peters in the 1 on the lead lap. Oh, hold on. Strap grandma in. Make sure she's got some kernel-free popcorn because it's about to get festive.
If there were a betting line here on the All-American Racing League Cup Series, the bets would be going crazy right now as Lilith Peters puts herself back into contention. Oh, wait. Dang it. There's still 1 lap down. Wrong again.
Timing and scoring just not our allies tonight, Cliff, because I'm seeing her on the lead lap.
Green flag flies, and we're back under it. Evan Clapper going to take back the point. Peter Terrio second, Justin Horton third. Who cares who's a lap down? Lilith Peters still has a chance at it. Let's go.
As long as there's laps left in the race, she's definitely still has a chance. Look at the battle up front here, driving lights out right now, giving it everything these two boys have up front. As the Camaro goes up and bumps the wall there, as he's got a big mirror full of Peter Terrio in the Mustang, as they have shot out to 0.8 of a second over the 3rd place car of Horton, who has a good mid-run car until it seems to kind of fall off a cliff suddenly in that 67.
You know, much different from what we saw earlier on in the race, and it's probably that cleaner air that he's missing right now. So if he can get that car back up in front of, as they're side by side up front, a little bit of touch there.
Breath.
Touching again.
Precision. I mean, if you're going to do this now on fresh tires, because it is literally impossible to race door-to-door drag racing around Darlington as the lady in black usually doesn't let that slide. As you see the 57 there lift and let Terrio go.
Yeah, we're seeing two very different races right now. One pulling out all the stops, trying for nothing but a win, and two trying to make sure that I get to the end of this race to win this championship. Clapper could have pushed that issue and possibly ended both of their race, but that is not what a championship run looks like.
No, and as hard as that is to do for a race car driver, under 30 laps to go, and having the mindset to know, hey, this is going to potentially take us both out of this race, and flips the throttle and lives to fight another lap, is Peter Terrio in the 28. Now, on point here and primed for a potential win, but he has 7 other cars on the lead lap that have something to say about it before it's all said and done. As Evan Clapper, he is not dying. In fact, he is going back on the attack now as he's either able to catch his breath. Go on board. You see him there rolling in 5th gear, 5 gears, and this is the sequential gearbox in this next-gen car. Ever so slightly on the throttle, coming off the corner, especially that turn 4 has been treacherous. He is there, Cliff, about a car length and a half off the back of the 28 machine.
Yeah, 0.2 of a second. The gap between first and second. Terrio trying to hold off this champ in the 57 of Evan Clapper. He's going to make his 28 machine as wide as he possibly can, but the 57 is going to dive to the bottom, makes his stick. Going to try that crossover, but Terrio's going to jump to the bottom. He's going to have to fall in line there behind Evan Clapper. Looking at the newcomer of the series, trying to pull off a championship here tonight. The 28 past champion, also the defending champion here tonight, just looking for a win.
Could you imagine a walk-off win and a walk-off championship for Evan Clapper? Oh, and throw Rookie of the Year hunters in there too as well. Clean sweep, potentially, if he can hang on here for another, 22 laps or so. But it's Darlington. This track is just, so many stories, so many highlights over the course of its existence here in the NASCAR Cup Series, Cliff. And you got a mirror full of Peter Terrio. You know that's a good driver in the race car who's just haven't been able to get the wins this year. Bad luck, other things that have happened. But, I mean, he is right there slurking off the back of that rookie. Someone needs to yell into Clapper and tell him, take that rearview mirror, throw it out the window, and just listen to your spotter. Full send out the front, and don't lift on the final lap. At least coming off the 4, don't lift.
Yeah, I wish it were that easy for the 57, but unfortunately, Peter Terrio is a hard-fighting race car driver, and he's not going to give the 57 any breaks as he here side by side as we come across the line, and making it look pretty easy, but it's not. 28's making that bottom side work, but you can see how hard it is for him to hold that line. He's got to lift to keep from taking out the 57 and possibly himself. 20 laps to go.
Cliff, you said it best. It is literally impossible to do that and keep your car in check and hold the line on tires, plus, 10 laps or so. And he made it look easy. But as you've seen, even the best of drivers cannot make it run down there 2 by 2 as he gets, just has to get way off pace there, catch the car, get it back pointed straight. And now he's going to have to run down the 57 of Clapper again. As we go back now to Patrick McQuaid, Christian Delgado. That's the top 5 as they run right now. 67 of Justin Horton there is in 3rd. Don't forget about them. He had a fast car in the early to midway of the race as well.
Sean Purcell in the double zero, right in front of his brother. Not right in front, but about a second and a half ahead of Kyle Purcell here. And of course, Lilith Peters holding on to an 8th position. Still fighting hard with 19 to go. David Herod 15, and Jeremy Flanagan going to round out our top 10 here tonight at Darlington. Nathan Christensen off track right now. as well as Adam Angerstein and Travis Rodriguez. So Jeremy Flanagan, the only one coming back out to play after having a very difficult night, trying to finish out his season, at least running.
At least running, and also quoting the Offspring, saying he's coming out and playing again with everybody. I wish at times we could play music in the background, but we have all these rights and royalty things and all these terms of service guidelines that we have to
people want to get paid and stuff, you know.
I know. It costs us a fortune just for the music we got. But it would be cool to play some music at times throughout the broadcast, kind of like you see when you go to a football game, this, that, the other. It just kind of enhances the vibe, enhances the mood. But Evan Clapper continues to go full-blown Las Vegas mode here, high stakes and all, as he's looking to perform a clean sweep and win everything this season. Ontario is trying to break him, and he is not giving an inch. Is now the 72. Way off pace going towards pit road. Here goes Theriot trying to work the bottom. Gets massively squirrely coming off the corner. Has to chase it down the hill. How he was able to still keep it the pace with Clapper while catching the race car, I'll never know. And as they're 2x2, don't look now, but Mac Daddy Horton in the 67 is hot on their trend.
Yeah, Justin Horton sitting here sniffing a victory here as the two front runners almost getting together multiple times, racing hard, fighting it out, battling it out to the bitter end is what it looks like. If I'm Justin Horton, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, but I've got to stay attentive and be sure to pounce if these two get into trouble. Jeremy Flanagan comes down pit road, possibly going to park it for the night. We'll see. I can't imagine he wants to be out here and causing trouble with 14 to go. We did see him jump off the pace and out of the way of these leaders, so I'm assuming he's going to call it a night here.
Oh, Clapper slaps the wall hard. Here comes Horton.
Horton's going to
for the lead.
Oh, Clapper back up into the wall again. Horton's going to take advantage of that. That's exactly what I was talking about, but didn't happen between first and second, just Clapper. And amazingly enough, Clapper's able to stay up on pace and hold on to second place here.
I believe the toe of that race car is knocked out a little bit, which is why he keeps lightly tapping the wall there as he tries to figure out his new center of that 57, but still, Cliff, you're right, miraculous. He is still in that second place position. Clapper catches the wall again. Oh, that is heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking, gut-wrenching for the 57. But now, look who's coming in the rear view mirror from that fourth place position. Kachow, Lightning McQuaid has caught this group for the lead, and he hasn't been in the wall or been in this heated battle. So you have to imagine that his Goodyears have the most fight right now. Could we see McQuaid shock the field here in the closing 12 laps as he is now caught the back of Justin Horton?
Yeah, last time by he was just right there in pace with the second place car of Evan Clapper. So if he can just make up a little bit of time here, pass a couple cars, could be there. Got 10 to go. Going to be difficult to get it done, though, as the gap between first and second now almost a second. It's like I'm thinking the Evan Clapper machine is a little worn out there after brushing the wall a few times in a row, and definitely got some steering issues going on right now, just trying to hold on to it. 67 of Horton sitting in third. Reminder, with 10 to go here, don't forget to hang out with us right after the race. We'll talk to our top three. And if Clapper happens to fall out of the top three, we'll probably get him in and talk to him, as we're going to probably crown him with a championship here tonight in his rookie season with AARL. Lilith Peters, the only other driver with a possible chance at it, in trouble early, finds herself back in eighth. And woe is right as Evan Clapper. And
Jesus, no!
Oh, Clapper gets turned, the 67 into the wall. Caution comes out with 9 to go. We got to see what happened there. Jesus, no is right. Not what we wanted to see at all here coming to the end of this race. It looked like the 57 was hard into the wall just one too many times. 67 tries to get by, but unfortunately...
How can you not love watching this series? Oh,
how did
Darlington and...
I'm sorry. There was a good space between those two cars a couple of times there. That, I was about to say, how do you tap each other that easily right there? But looking at it now, honestly, I want to say it was a lot of net code, or at least a little net code. I don't know if they actually touched.
I think what happens here, Cliff, is right before they pull side by side, the 57 of Clapper is going to catch a little piece of the wall. And I think that starts to upset the balance of the race car when it's loaded up here and at its most unstable point. You can see there where he kind of hip checks the 67 right there, just a little bit.
I didn't think they touched, but from this angle, definitely a better view of it, and they definitely get together.
And it's a 1-2 whack-a-mole in the heartbreak inside the 57. Oh, I know it's a sim race, but I swear you can feel it in the air right now, Cliff. This is why you end the season at a racetrack like Darlington, South Carolina. At just about any other racetrack, that doesn't happen right there.
No, you're absolutely right. And that heart-wrenching is the definite word for it as Evan Clapper finds his way back to 9th place now. Unfortunately, that's going to hand the championship to Peters, essentially. Race isn't over yet. 7 to go. She just basically has to finish this one out now, I would say.
Yeah, she comes down pit road there in the 1. But, I mean, the 57 Evan Clapper still has a lot to hang his head, hold his head high on. I mean, still going to come out of here with Rookie of the Year honors regardless. But the performance of that kid driving that race car the last half of the season, especially the last 5-6 races, I mean, have been impressive, especially when you consider the competition that he's going up against. Is that pace car is now out in front of this field here once again with just 6 laps remaining. Peter Theriault in the 28 machine, the biggest mover of the race. Can the biggest mover get the final win of the season? We're about to find out. Is Lilith Peters now, as Cliff said, primed to be the champion here, unless that black voodoo cloud seems to now lurk and target that one machine before that checkered flag flies.
Now, I have questions. As I'm reading Peters' bio here, she writes, needs to finish top 6 to clinch the championship. Now, just for clarity, we don't write that there. This is written
Correct.
there by the driver. And so she's in 7th. Does that mean she's got to get one more spot to clinch this championship?
Well, I believe you come up with that scenario based upon the finishing, where you predict other drivers in this race to finish, who you're competing with for the championship. Now, we've had a massive shakeup here from lap 1. So I assume maybe there's some less validity there. Perhaps maybe now that margin is wider.
Yeah,
but
I think
even
you're probably right.
But even so, Cliff, I think that driver of the 1 can get one more spot before that checkered flag falls.
Oh, I would expect her to get a couple, especially with the field bunched up here. She's got a fresh set of tires, I'm assuming. She was on pit road for a good minute, so I'm sure she got any last-minute damage banged out. Probably grabbed her last set of tires, and she's going to at least grab 2 more spots, I hope. We'll be 4 to go when we get to the line, so we will not be in a green-white checker situation. And here we go. This is about to get real interesting.
Oh, it's about to get real, sir. Hunker down, pull those belts tight one more time as we hit the Geico restart zone. And Horton smashes the wall off of the bumper. of Kyle Purcell as I believe he spun the tires and he gets left hung out to dry as the ship sets sail on the top side. And at the helm, it's the 28 of Peter Theriault with 4 laps to go. Lightning McQuaid currently trying to reel him in second, and Sean Purcell getting the grill full. Now he's getting under siege by the 16. Here comes Peters on the bottom trying to follow through. All this happening in 1.5 miles as there's still 3 laps to go.
Yeah, that was Delgado in that 16 machine getting underneath Purcell and actually grabs 3rd place. Purcell. Oh, Purcell in the wall. 6th place gets passed by the 15, who's actually a lap down. So not for position there. Meanwhile, back up front, McQuaid putting on the pressure with 3 to go. 2 to go now.
2 to go now, which means there is 3 miles left in competition. And guess who got the green light for full-fledged push to pass? And that is Lilith Peters in 4th. Is the 16 is in full-blown drift mode, but the Peters has got that Camaro screaming. Oh, smash kicks him. Oh, takes out the 1. Get that car rolling. What a save by Peters. She's got to get that car throttled up quick, fast, and in a hurry. Amazing. What a miracle by Peters. Caution is out on the racetrack. Cliff, how many times have we seen this? Oh, my goodness. As Hillbilly Hera has a jamboree scare in the 15. Oh, pinch. And there, Horton comes in, catches a piece of it. That's where the caution came from, right there. I don't know if that hurts Lilith Peters, if that helps her, as she's currently being scored in 5th. But this, most certainly, and why not? It's the last race of the season, can't hold anything back. Welcome to overtime.
Oh, Peters makes a hard left turn. I don't think she made the commitment cone. It's an interesting decision there.
You know, it could be like a football game, depending on where you look at the kick from, what camera. She made the cone or didn't make the cone. Now that's electronic timing and scoring. We don't call those shots. iRacing controls that, so we'll see what the officials have to say. But that one, you want to talk about a Category 5 alarm catastrophe potentially unfolding inside the cockpit of that race car. That just about happened to Lilith Peters as we back him up to see if the one here made, as Cliff would like to say, the snow cone, but it's the commitment cone.
You know, I don't know.
No,
I don't.
That cone is way back there.
It's a little off. I'm not sure that's going to fly. So we'll see what they say up in the tower. But meanwhile, yeah, we got 3 to go here left in the season. Never mind the race. This one is about to be over. Green-white checker here. 28 of Peter Theriault on the point. Patrick McQuaid wants it bad. He's got a real good opportunity now as they are bunched back up once again for at least one more restart here. 15.
At least one more.
The 15 of David Hera scored an 8th. Looks like he's got to get out of the way here. Peters is still scored in 3rd. I guess that cone is just for show.
And this overtime stint may have just enabled hardcore team deathmatch. Last car standing wins, perhaps. As we've seen at Darlington in these situations. Theriault in the 28, your current leader. McQuaid. A lot of changes on board for that young man. Congratulations as he's expanding his family. Doesn't know, how much time he's going to have to devote to racing here in the upcoming months. You know he would love to go out in that 77 on top. Lilith Peters, been in the full-fledged recovery mode ever since lap 1. She has done it, but just about disastrous turn of events there moments ago. Saved by the caution flag coming out perhaps when David Hillbilly Hera and the 67 of Horton got together. Cliff, I can't script this one, I don't know who's writing this stuff for these guys and girls, but it is good.
Yeah, never did get a confirmation there on whether it's a full moon or not, but something wild in the sauce. Maybe she gave out a bunch of Luna's steak sauce earlier, and maybe it wasn't fully just steak sauce. I don't know. Having a
Are
good
you
time, though.
suggesting a laxative?
No, of course not.
The last time I got steak sauce from a friend of mine, they did. They were not nice about it. They
That's
did
just a
bad things to
natural.
the steak sauce.
It's a natural laxative.
Yeah, that's right. It's 100% organic ingredients in that steak sauce, and you're right to be compliant, Cliff. It had to be organic. As those lights go out on the pace car one more time. Cliff, does this racetrack go nuclear status?
I don't know.
What can we expect here? This is uncharted territory.
I'm worried for the one. You know, if we get, let's see. Yeah, no, I think she's got it in the bag. My math is bad, but I think she's gonna be just fine, even if she crashes out at this point. Evan Clapper is down 9 or 10 laps now. Here we go. Green flag back out. Terrio, great start there. Does 77 right behind him, jumps up to that top side.
Terrio has the lead through turns 3 and 4 for the complex. I'm sorry, turns 1 and 2 complex. Now they're firing down the backstretch here as he has McQuaid in tow in the 77. And Sean Purcell and Horton have their own battle going on as well, as Horton looks to slipstream the 00 on the bottom as he wall rides the top. Here comes McQuaid dialing up the pressure. White flag in the air. We are racing back to checkers. 1.5 miles to go here in the closing lap of the AARL Cup Series. Peter Terrio, the former champ, primed and leading in the front. McQuaid, Cliff, this is going to get good through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Here he goes. McQuaid sets it in. Big time doorbell move. That's going to allow Horton to come and sneak on the top side. Here comes Sneaky Pete. No, he goes down low. It's going to be a drag race. Terrio's going to get the win. Patrick McQuaid gets second. Justin Horton third. 3/1000ths of a second. The difference between second and third. Peter Terrio, the champ, wins the race. But Lilith Peters is crowned queen here tonight as she gets herself a championship. As she said she needs 6, she came home 6, and Peter Terrio's already doing burning donuts. It just gets bombed by Flanagan.
Yeah, you're probably
What
going
an
to see a
ending.
lot of the ping pong in here as these drivers get their last moment of aggression out and enjoy what will be the last time these guys see each other on the racetrack for an official points race here tonight. So as Peter Terrio continues to enjoy his ping pong ride, let's jump in and see if we can get a word from our third place driver, Justin Horton. Here he is. Justin, Cliff, and Matt in the booth, man. How's it going, P3? Not too bad. You got us?
Yeah, I got you guys. How's it going?
We're doing well. Amazing race out there. You were looking really good early on, able to bring that 67 machine back to third. You
a lot
guys
of
just have a
mistakes.
great
I could tell by
time.
the laughing. You got the
No,
see that
I'm enjoying
very
the show that you guys are putting on here at the start finish line. We're having a great time. Championship race here. Shout out to your team. Taking home at least an owner's championship here tonight, and as well as the championship with the one machine, the Lilith Peters. But take us through your race real quick as you enjoy yourself.
I had really good moments. I had some bad moments. One of the runs, I was running until the final 2 stretches. I was running 4th gear when I had that lead, and I got real loose. I had burned out the rear tires, and then unfortunately later in the race, Evan had hit the wall a couple times, and I was trying to get below him, and it sounds like it got loose, got over my nose. I hate that for Evan. Him and Lilith were having a good fight to go and win the championship. Both teammates. Never want to see something like that happen. Love the team I'm on. Everyone raced really good. Shout out to McQuaid. Me and him had a restart, but we were side by side, and both of us checked up unknowingly for each other going into turn one because we both knew that none of us wanted to get into each other. So we both gave each other the idea of if they were going to go into the turn
No, you go.
at full
No, you go.
speed.
No, you go.
Yeah, and then me and him were just side by side at the slowest pace. Like, oh hey,
Right.
it was a
Oh,
good
good
race.
times, good
Congratulations to Peter on winning. Congratulations to Lilith on getting the championship. Congratulations to McQuaid on getting the podium. Had a couple of mistakes. Wish I had a chance to go for the win. I feel like if I did a first gear launch thinking it would have worked on fresh tires, that's when I got into the wall. Sorry, Kyle, for getting into you and destroying your car. Dumb move by me. I just thought it would work, didn't work, made a fool of myself. You know how it goes.
Oh, I do that a lot. Well, with that said, anyone you want to shout out to before we send you back to celebrate?
Gotta shout out Luna Steak Sauce sold by Foxfire Foods. Thanks you guys so much for sponsoring us and me and Lilith and Jeremy this season. It was an honor being able to have the finishes I did this year and be able to shout out such great sponsors who treat us so well. I want to shout out Kaiju Cat. I got to shout Jeremy Flanagan for being a great team owner. Love the team I'm on. Love all the support and everything from everyone. Shout out to Paints by JJ, who makes my paint schemes. Thank you guys so much for broadcasting this season. Thank you, Blue Gray Plastic Fabrication, for sponsoring the league this year. I'm glad I was able this season to do really well. And I exceeded my own expectations, and I'm glad that I, throughout the season, with the help from Lilith and the team, was able to finish where I wanted to.
Absolutely. Congrats again on P3, and hopefully we get to talk to you again in the next coming season.
Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a wonderful day.
There you have it, Justin Horton, P3. Let's go ahead and grab the one and only Lightning McQuaid coming across the line second in that 77 machine. Lightning, it is Cliff and Matt in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, congrats on P2. Big story with you taking the break. Congrats on the second little one, but that's neither here nor there tonight. What a wild run there at the end. You had something for him, just wasn't quite enough. To go ahead and take us through your race.
Yeah. Well, first little one, by the way. I might have confused you last time we spoke. But no, I would be the one to have the fresher tires, man, and not win the actual race, right? So that's real. I'm super bummed. I wish that would have been more of a storybook ending on my end, but Peter did a hell of a job saving it. I didn't want to like Logano him, you know, but I definitely wanted to try the bump and run. I've never really done it before, so. But Peter's a hell of a competitor. You know, we've had our run-ins last season, and maybe even the season before, whenever he joined. But we talked it out, and you know that right there was full circle, in my opinion. But no, it was a long night, man. You know how this track goes. You know, try to save the tires and you know just try to keep it off the wall. And just battle of you know nutrition or what you know. I don't know my vocabulary.
I know what you're trying to say though,
yeah,
for sure. Attrition, that's what it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yep, thanks.
Hey, but you got to have some good nutrition to get up on the wheel and drive tonight, though. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. I'm drenched in sweat right now, man. It's fun. It's super fun race. Darlington's always fun. It's just so challenging. But no, you know, just watching everyone get loose and try to avoid, you know, who's checking up, where, what, you know, what's going on. But no, that's basically the race, right? Like you just got to be super aware, race the track and not your competitors at Darlington. That's all I can say.
Yeah, very well said. Well, congrats again on P2. We'll go ahead and send you back to celebrate. You want to give a shout out to anyone before we do?
Oh yeah, you know, I know I went on a little ramble last week, but again, for sure, this is my last race for a while. So again, thanks to you guys, Lefano, Hillbilly, of course, Muffler Man, Blues Race Designs, Alpha Lion, Eclipse Photography, just everybody that supports me. The list keeps growing, and just it it warms my heart that this has been such a great time on the server, and just many friendships have formed because of it, and it's an amazing thing. I know a lot of people don't they're not.
They might not get it.
Yeah, it's just it's a niche, right? And it's a bug, and the racing bug, and it's for people that don't have the money to actually race, right? So it's just super fun, and you guys have made it 10 times fun.
Well, we
Yeah,
definitely
Pat.
aim to please, and we had a lot of fun this season as well.
Yeah, I just want to chime in real quick and say, Pat, I love you, buddy. You and I, competitors on the track in another series, and it's been a pleasure to watch you compete this season up here in the booth. I knew you were driving your guts out. I knew you had the tires, and what a storybook ending it would have been. But hey, you know what? Nonetheless, what a performance here tonight. It was certainly a fun and a pleasure to watch you drive the wheels off that 77 tonight. And all the best to you, man. And hopefully we'll see you again sooner than later.
Yes, sir. And yeah, I'll definitely see you on Thursdays, man. That league ain't over till it's over.
Oh,
So
I know. That's right. Thanks for reminding me.
love you guys.
All right, Lightning McQuaid, thank you for joining us. We'll go ahead and send you back to have a great time tonight. And we'll grab our race winner, Peter Terrio, our race winner here tonight. Peter, it's Cliff and Matt in the booth. You got us?
Oh, yes, I have you guys.
Hey, man, good to hear from you. Good to see you. Heck of a job out there tonight. Congrats on the win. Take us through your race, man. Pretty wild one.
Yeah, it was. It was absolutely insane. I kind of came out here running just kind of as a meme because, well, I don't know if you guys knew, but I got suspended after Nashville for my post-race interview. So I lost the chance at a championship after that while leading the points. So
we knew.
Yeah, well, you guys talked about it during the race. Why I hadn't been there. So,
even when you're not here, you're giving us something to talk about.
Yeah, I'm an interesting person on and off the track. I don't know. I didn't feel like racing on Tuesdays if I wasn't going to be able to go for the championship, and also if a little bit of other reasons. But this brain check number 28 was really really good tonight. And that's a reference to my Nashville post race interview. Yeah, I kind of threw this paint scheme together last second. I think it's the best looking one on the field. I think we can all agree on that one. And man, I had no tires there at the end. I pitted earlier on in the race when I was towards the back after me and Nathan got together. Yeah, I pitted for tires when everybody else didn't on green flag pit stops. And then here, finding my way to the front, of course, the late race caution came out and threw tires into the equation. But luckily, I was able to hold on. I'm pretty sure it's the only one who stayed out on those final two cautions there. And just difficult to pass here at Darlington. I appreciate McQuaid keeping it clean with me because it was really fun racing. And it felt like back when I first started racing in here because I had a bunch of really good battles with McQuaid. And it was kind of like a throwback night. Well, Darlington too. Yeah, a lot of fun. Congrats to Lilith on the championship. Definitely wish I would have been able to go there to battle, especially figuring that I was leading the points going into my suspension and then I come back and win. I'm just, what could have been. I think it would have been a really good battle between me and Lilith, and she was obviously really good throughout the season and got a bunch of race wins and stuff. And yeah, I mean, a well-deserved championship, no doubt about that. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy coming out here winning. I'm not exactly sure what my plans are next season. Dominion Motorsports, this was their last race here in AARL, so I'm happy I got to bring them a win to end it out for them. And I'm probably not running full time next season. I got a lot on my plate with real life racing and other leagues and stuff. So, but I think I have some part time stuff in the works to at least show up a little bit as long as they welcome me back. But yeah, had a lot of fun this season. A lot of ups and downs. 2 wins and a playoff appearance and leading the points for a little bit. So, can't be upset with a win in the final race.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well said. You did a great job this season. The points definitely don't lie about that, and your performance on racetrack doesn't lie either. Good luck to you in the real life racing. Obviously, that's a bit more important than this, so hopefully you find yourself some success there. Glad you're here racing here for the last race. Glad you got the win. Happy to be able to talk to you once more before we may not hear from you again. So this is not goodbye, but congrats, and hopefully we see you again and talk to you again soon.
Yeah, I plan to be back in the interview booth at some point in the future, but quickly before I go, I got to thank Dominion Motorsports, like I said, their last race, and being able to bring Chad Snyder, the team owner, home, ending it on a high note here in Victory Lane at Darlington. I'm sure it means a lot to him, and it means a lot to me, too. This team I started out on when I first joined this series, and I wouldn't be where I am right now in this league without him and Dominion Motorsports, so I definitely got to thank them. I don't got any sponsors on the car tonight, unless you count the words on my car as sponsors. So I guess, I'll just skip past that part, and I'll go and I'll thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, because you guys did a phenomenal job, and I enjoyed every minute of this season's broadcast. I was telling Matt before the race that I enjoy being able to go back and look at some of the I guess, more interesting moments of the races I partake in, and so I can't thank you guys enough for that.
Absolutely, my man. Well, again, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Yeah, such an electric personality there. What a dynamic driver, and you never know really what you're going to get with him. You can hear it in his voice, the energy, the passion for racing, and clearly, one of the more amplified personalities throughout the field here over the course of the season. But the 28 there gets it done here as well tonight. Great way to go out. We certainly wish him the best in his professional racing career. The driver of the 28-year winner tonight, Peter Tirio. But we still got one more
enough
person
about
to talk
Peter.
to. Just saying.
Lilith, you got us?
Yes, sir.
What an amazing race. What an amazing season. Congrats to you on the championship. Matt, what do you got for her?
Getting it done. That's what I got to say. Lilith, my first season up here in the booth, and Cliff can back me up on this. Way back when, I didn't know who you were. I didn't know your legacy. I didn't know how good of a race car driver you were. I picked you to win a race, and ever since that night I picked you to win, you have just been lights out throughout the course of this season. Even when you had faced adversity, trouble on the racetrack, you stayed poised, calm, cool, collective, like we've seen here tonight. And that's the type of material champions are made of, and that is made up in the matrix of you. And every time you strap in that virtual race car, just a pleasure to be up here in the booth to watch you race. I know you've done a lot to help me with my next-gen development as well, and I can't thank you enough for that. But Lilith, it's only fitting that the one car is at the very, very top of the podium at the end of this one. Congratulations on being the champion. How does it feel, and who do you got to thank? And I imagine this has to be kind of like for me how I felt when I won the All-Star race, maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't really need all of the ego boosting there, but I appreciate the comments, Matt.
Hey, it's facts, Lilith. It's facts.
Anyway, I'm very happy to finally get it done. I felt like it got taken away from me last time, kind of.
I thought it got taken away from you twice tonight in this race.
Yeah.
Myself
Kyle
included.
made a fatal error there on turn 2, but I came back. I'm kind of sad Evan didn't get to get that win. He would have won the championship too if he did.
Yeah, it went back and forth actually
kinda
really quickly in a couple of incidents. he kind of gave it away to you, and then we thought you almost gave it away back to him. And, it was a pretty wild race for a final race in this season. So, great choice of racetracks, I think. Of all places, Darlington is a very exciting racetrack and produces some great racing, which you guys did tonight. Congrats.
Yeah, this place is great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And it really shows what kind of talent you guys have as drivers in this league, and especially some of you front runners, and you, of course, Lilith, for winning the championship here tonight. Congrats. Anyone you want to shout out to before we let you go party?
Yeah, a few shout-outs. Thank you guys so much for broadcasting the season. I like watching them back, and you guys do a good job.
Thank you.
And thanks for Blue Gray Plastic Fabrication for sponsoring the Cup Series. And I'm its champion. And then thank you, my sponsor, Luna Steak Sauce. You can get that at foxfirefoods.com. They've been a great sponsor. And I finally get to win with them.
Absolutely. And congrats again. Thank you for joining us. Go back and have a great time. That's Lilith Peters, our champion here this season. And hopefully we get to see her again next season.
Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, that's another force that I get to contend with at times on Thursday nights as well, alongside with Lightning McQuaid. And I can't thank her and Lightning enough. They've all played a part in helping me with my development with that next-gen race car. And like I said, Cliff, that's the type of material that champions are made of. And I'm so happy for her. She's definitely deserving to have that title.
Absolutely amazing talent in that young lady. So that'll do it for us tonight. Race results are up on your screen. We'll go through it real quick. Lilith Peters, of course, winning the championship here tonight. Peter Terrio is going to take the win, though. Patrick McQuaid grabs P2, and Justin Horton fighting hard to come across the line, P3. Almost stuck McQuaid there at the end across the line. Christian Delgado takes the fourth position in that 16 Dominion Motorsports machine. Right behind him, you got Sean Purcell finishing in the top 5. Peters comes across the line 6th, which was just enough to take the championship. Kyle Purcell finishes 7th. And David Harrer in the 15 machine is going to roll across 8th. Evan Clapper in that 5-7 machine ends up 9th after an upsetting end to his race and also championship, but he does finish up the season strong with Rookie of the Year and will come, I would assume, just about at least second in points. So not a bad first showing for him this season. Jeremy Flanagan, unfortunately, a top 10. Well, it's a weird sentence to say. Unfortunately, a top 10. A top 10 for Mr. Flanagan, Zorku Nation, not bad at all. Nathan Christensen 11th, Adam Angerstein 12th, and Travis Rodriguez is going to round out our 13th machine and entry into the race. Congrats to all the racers here tonight for such a great show and such a great racetrack. That'll do it for us here at Sim Racing Media. Matt, any last words?
No, I think we got to thank, everyone behind the scenes that helps put this series together. Cannot do it without the car sponsors, the team sponsors, the fans that turn out every single Thursday night to root on Lilith Peters and company here in the Blue Gray Plastics AARL Cup Series. Evan Clapper, that guy is going to be something special in this league. I can't wait to watch him next season as we have not seen the best of him. And, Cliff, it's been a fun ride with you. I can't believe this one is done.
I know, I'm over here. Oh, sorry, I'm over here throwing up all the graphics I possibly have on my my system here from all the past races. I love it. But yeah, go ahead and finish this off.
Get it all, the cornholio boards and all of them.
Go ahead and finish this off.
But ladies and gentlemen, like all good things must come to an end. This broadcast has come time to end. Until we see you next time in prime time, I'm Matt. That's Cliff. Have a great evening and keep it tuned in right here on SRM.
All right, I'll clear.